Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, welcome to the Three Good Guys podcast. We got a nice show ready for y'all today, so we're going to hop into, first of all, the introductions.
Yes.
My name is Miles. To my right.
My name is Rodney.
To my far right.
My name is Leonard. I am the most handsome man on the Three Good Guys podcast. We took a survey, and the voters have voted.
Wow. We took a survey.
Yeah, so.
You remember a survey?
No, I don't remember the survey. I think he took it. I think when he said we, he was talking about himself and himself.
And I.
Yeah, and I.
And maybe his wife.
Yeah.
Well,
who didn't vote. But
well, the votes are in. There'll be no recount of the election.
Wow.
And that's it. I just wanted to let you guys know.
That's bananas. We're glad to be here with y'all today. We hope you guys have a fantastic day and enjoy this episode of the podcast. Also, be sure to comment on something because we're guaranteed to say something that you like or absolutely hate. And definitely subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
Remember, we are on the road right now to 200. We're giving away a little bit of cash when we get to 200. When we get to 1,000, we're giving away a free hotel stay. All right? So we're only at 180 something, probably 170 something.
It was
Something like that.
70 last time.
So remember, when we hit 200, we're giving away some cash. When we hit 1,000, we're giving away free hotel stay. So be sure to hit that subscribe button.
For sure.
With that being said, y'all, before we hop into a lot of the
174.
ridiculousness, we're at 174?
174.
On 174 subscribers, we currently need 16 subscribers. Hit that button. 26 subscribers, you're right. I'm tripping.
that's good math. Yeah.
I'm tripping.
That was
It's been a
ISD.
minute. It's been a minute since I've been in school, as you can tell. I said 16, it's really 26.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we need 16 as a part of that 26.
Yeah,
That's how you
16
put
is a
it.
part.
So if you get 16,
so
you
without the
only
get
16,
16,
you can't get to the 26.
facts.
So he was technically right.
And this is what we call teamwork.
That's
You
right.
feel me? That's a brother for you
got you.
right there. I appreciate you.
I was also voted most smartest.
That's how you the
Most smartest? He definitely
The irony
didn't win
of
that vote.
that. Yeah, no, he didn't get that one.
Go back to English.
Okay,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
bad.
Okay, but before we hop into some of the other fun stuff, I just want to start with a moment of just something good, right? So I'm currently in talks. I can't give all the details, but I can say that I should very soon have the opportunity to pay my mother to do some things that she does naturally
That's dope.
and easily as it is. And I can't speak for nobody else, but I think it's amazing to be able to turn around after all the work that your parents have done for you and allow them to walk freely in their giftings and put money in their pockets for it.
That's awesome.
So that's my good thing for the week. I'm excited about it.
Hey.
Y'all got something else, or y'all wanna hop into some of this?
Yeah, I got something.
Go ahead.
So my wife and I just finished our first book. We wrote a children's book. It's faith-based. It'll be coming out November 17th, so we're getting ready to market it. But it's just a way to, go over different topics with your children according to faith-based. So I'm excited. And, of course, our character is a young black girl, so representation matters. And it's going to be wonderful.
What's the name of the book?
The name of the book is Maggie and the Bad Dream. And
Okay.
so it goes through with how do you talk to your kids about having a bad dream, so
Where will the book be available?
it'll be on Amazon.
Okay. Do you know how much the book will be?
Almost.
Almost.
There's a couple more figures we have to get done. So we'll have that price pretty soon.
Okay.
And we'll definitely have the link somewhere in our descriptions.
Oh, yeah.
On this episode, the episode after. And
It's-
probably every subsequent episode.
You
after
got that right.
'Cause
Gotta-
we gotta,
gotta get the book.
We got to.
Gotta support the book. But that's really dope, though.
Yeah.
A children's book.
Yeah, I always wanted to read a book, so I figured I'd write it first.
Man.
And then,
He was definitely not voted the smartest one. Always wanted to read a book. He might be the biggest liar.
That's fire.
so yeah.
Yeah, that's dope.
man.
That's dope. Did you have anything, sir?
Oh, man. I had some great news this week.
Okay.
Actually, the Los Angeles Dodgers
Hey,
Come on now.
have won the World Series.
What about that being down 5?
Oh, my goodness.
And I know I was the one talking about I don't really watch baseball,
But we watched it.
that's the kind of baseball I do watch.
Oh, man.
That was good baseball.
A grand slam?
I was
a
watching.
walk-off
I
grand
was watching
slam?
like, okay,
Yeah,
now
I was
this is
thinking.
baseball right here. Yeah,
Man,
that was nice.
I'm just
Yeah.
glad I don't actually live in Los Angeles right now because I already know the traffic and things over this last
Oh man,
week.
I would have loved to have been in the city just to feel the vibe of like us winning World Series.
I don't
championship.
know.
Like that. It's been a long time coming.
But you know what's funny? Because, I watched The Breakfast Club. And so they were talking about New York losing. And I was like, what's wrong with y'all? And I was like, oh, y'all are in New York. I'm from California.
That's what's wrong with it.
Yeah, I'm like, this was a good thing. They were like, yeah, we lost. And I'm like, what? Like, oh, I be forgetting other teams have fans. Like, that was
Other
funny.
teams have fans, which is weird, to be
Yeah.
honest
That
with
is
you.
weird, yeah.
Like, why would you not be a fan of Los Angeles-based teams?
I don't know.
That doesn't make sense. But that is absolutely
That's wonderful.
fantastic news. If you guys didn't know, all three of us currently live in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex of Texas, and we are all originally from Southern California. So absolutely, we root for the West Coast.
Half of everybody in Texas is from California.
What's up?
Yeah.
There's
Nah,
a lot.
at this
There's a
point.
lot of California people.
Yeah, that's a
here.
fact.
We're
That-
basically swapping out like all Texas born and raised people. They want to go to California for some reason.
Yeah.
And then
Good luck.
We all
We
come
come
in here
here,
and buying
yeah.
everything up. So yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. But we want to we're gonna skip the 5-minute question.
Yeah, because
For a little while
some
later.
other people to come
Yeah.
back.
But there is some interesting stuff going on in the world of hip hop. Young Thug, y'all. If you've been living under a rock and you don't know, Young Thug is a rapper. Young Thug has a RICO case, and pretty much he been found guilty. But for some unknown reason, there's grace.
Well, he wasn't found guilty. He took
Yeah.
a plea deal.
He took-
There's
okay,
a, there's
he
a
took a plea.
difference.
He took a plea.
Yeah.
Even though it was a RICO case, when I found out about RICO case, I pretty much say you're guilty.
Well, if you
outright.
watch the case, they really fumbled it.
They did. Yeah. That's a fact.
And it,
That's a
it
fact.
probably should have been a mistrial, honestly.
Close to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it probably should have been a mistrial.
Yeah.
But he's getting off.
It's getting off. What are the
Kinda.
stipulations? I'll put it in the text.
Yeah.
He's got
Because this stuff was hilarious to me.
probation for what, 10 years?
No, he's on probation for, I think, for 15.
15 years?
He's banned from Atlanta for 10 years.
Banned from the ATL.
Man.
No showing up in the A.
That's crazy. You can't go home for 10.
That's bananas.
years.
And I have never even heard of that. Like, as a part of your probation, I understand, like, you can't leave this certain area. But, like, no, you're free to roam about the country, but just not that one city.
That's crazy.
That's bananas.
No, the part that I never heard of is the judge told this man, his name is Young Thug. Emphasis on the thug here. He can't make any gang-related music.
No gangster rap.
Is his music career over?
No.
Okay, and this is what I want to get into. So, I think his music career as we knew it to be is probably over.
Uh-huh.
Because if he can't do that for the next, well, how long? I don't know. Was it 10 years?
Probably the
During
whole
his
time he's on probation.
So
Because
15 years or 10
15-year
years?
probation.
So, I mean, 15 years, how relevant will he be to where if he started to make his old Young Thug
Nobody
music?
listen to it in 15 years.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, you know, there's always a possibility that you're like Drake, but I don't know. But this is what's gonna really show for the feat how much of an artist he truly is. Now, in my opinion, I'm not a huge Young Thug fan. I've heard a lot of his music,
I'm not either.
but none that I've saved on my, nothing that I've kept.
Well, I don't know what
or
he's saying
follow up
half the
with.
time. And I know that makes
True.
me sound old, but Young Thug music
True.
sounds
You're
like
absolutely
that.
right, and I think even fans of Young Thug don't even know what he's saying on their first listen.
Yeah.
It takes him some time to get that. Well, I mean, that's just credit to who, what kind of artist he is. But I will say he has some. What I look for in an artist is uniqueness and how many people sound like you, and I can tell if it's Young Thug or something. Now, of course, there's a lot of imitators after Young Thug, so now it's more of that in the weeds now of the music industry. But he has a pretty unique sound. So for that, and for the people who are interested in that sound, not really a fan here, but I can say sonically he has some stuff that sounds decent. That sounds good.
So you think he'll be
So I think he'll be okay. The only way he'll be okay is he has to be smart about what he does his music about.
So what do you do if you're Young Thug and somebody puts out a diss track?
You let it go.
Yeah,
You gotta go to J. Cole route.
you got to.
You gotta go to
You gotta go
J.
J.
Cole.
And that's
Cole.
probably what he might have. That's exactly. He might just do a joint album with J. Cole. I'm saying it here now. Joint album with Thug and Cole.
Does he have to drop the name Thug?
No,
That's gang related.
They're not gonna ever drop it.
What did they say Thug was meant for in the court case? It was like
something ridiculous.
Truly humble under God. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So I was like, stop it. Stop it.
Yeah, that's not gonna fly. But also, you gotta remember, he also has sex. He don't gotta drop none of that.
This is America.
He can do a bunch of features
That
talking
does
about
sell.
all the women he get, he can still talk about all the money he got, the cars, and he can just run that. I mean, most songs are mostly about that anyway. So,
Well, you know, like 6ix9ine, he still has a career. But I think he just got picked up by the cops, but he still has a career after doing that. Gunna still has a career. But you know who really don't have a career? Bobby Shmurda. I thought Bobby was gonna come home and blow up.
nah.
Bobby still has a career, just is not as big as it was.
That's what I'm saying. I thought he was going
flattered to be. He's still making moves and stuff like that. Like, of course, I don't keep up with these people enough, but I do see him enough in passing. Like when I'm on the meet, because I was trying to stay locked in with the music.
Yeah, you gotta
front.
keep your thumb on the pulse.
Yeah, just see what's going on. So he still has some songs out there. He still travels and does some things or whatever. And it shows up.
But it's not.
Stuff.
I thought.
But
you remember what he was before he went to jail?
Yeah.
Like I thought he was going
Come back
because you
with
gotta
another
remember
one.
he's the one guy that didn't tell,
Facts.
didn't take a plea, didn't cooperate. He did it the way that they want you to do it, and I don't see his career doing what
What it
was
should,
before.
what it should do. Well, that just goes to show you,
Snitch
ladies and
away,
gentlemen.
boys.
Yeah.
yeah.
First of all, don't do crime.
Yeah.
That's the first.
yeah,
thing.
that's the first thing.
Second thing, don't be around people doing crime. Okay. And third, if you got to snitch. Okay, I don't care what nobody says.
yeah, I'm telling you, bro. I'm
Respectfully,
It's
I
worth
mean,
it.
I love these guys, but if they're doing something crazy, if we have a 3GG, 3 good guys, RICO case against us, I'm definitely
Oh, I'm
snitching.
singing like a
I'm
bird.
telling you.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no doubt
I'm
about
just
it.
letting you guys know now.
Yeah.
I'm snitching.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I got a wife and kids. I can't go to jail.
You feel me? I got a future.
that's
I
it.
can't go to jail.
And Diddy's in prison. I need to stay far away from that place.
Yeah, exactly.
Far away from wherever he's at.
Yeah,
Any institution housing that man is not an institution. for me.
yeah, absolutely not.
So, all right, well.
But man, it just really goes to show though, like a lot of movements happen in the music industry, entertainment industry at that, or has been happening. I would even say since the pandemic started, or even maybe a little bit before. Just crazy stuff every year. It's been one of the crazier years in regards to like
I
development.
can't wait for Uncle Murder's wrap up, because this was a crazy year.
Yeah.
A lot has happened this year.
Yeah, a
You
lot of
think
stuff.
you think D1 will make the wrap up?
He should.
Because D1
D1's influence on hip hop this year
is way
has
more
been
than I thought
amazing.
it would ever be.
has been amazing. And like, I'm so proud of him because D1, like, some people act like he just came on the scene. D1 been saying the same thing this whole
years.
time. He just never gave up. And people are
Finally
listening.
listening. I watched he did an interview with some dude that I don't watch, so no disrespect to whoever the guy is in his channel with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Shout out to you and hope you have success in life. But I don't know the guy, so I can't say his name. Anyways, and D1 was talking about, same rhetoric he's been sharing. And the guy was saying, but bro, like it takes a different level of artistry to do that. Like, are artists able to do that? And D1 was pretty much saying, like, if people can rap about stuff they're not living, then they can rap. They're talented enough. They have enough artistry to rap about what they are living, and they're talented enough to not rap about something so debaucherous.
Exactly.
It's just that, but the truth is, they rap for low hanging fruit. Like, if I say murder, sex, drugs, it's going to sell. So you don't have to be as talented of an artist.
But why does it sell? And this is where I kind of get into it more. It only sells because it's made to be popular. I think it's a forced thing. I think the music industry knows what they're doing and how they double down on negative things, because if positive things are celebrated or more pushed to the forefront, that will become the norm. I just truly
I agree
believe
with
that.
that.
That's
Now,
true.
of course, there is a other side to it, like, just things that are sinful or like sinful in nature, like they're made to be appealing and stuff like that. So there's always going to be somewhat of an appeal to go on that end. But the overarching thing should be a more positive front. It should be pushed in a more positive manner, and that's just not what's happening. So yeah, then you'll still have your popular negative music, but there'll be more positive stuff out there, and more artistry based music and stuff like that.
And when you look at the 3 biggest rappers in hip hop right now, none of them are gangster rappers.
Yeah,
None of them.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been that way for a long time. Because Jay-Z hasn't been rapping about selling crack for how long now? It's
but
been a minute.
Is he a top 10 rapper right now?
No, not right now,
No,
but
not
at one
right
point
now,
Jay
no.
was, though.
Yeah, no.
And
But
the last time
I would
he
argue
was,
the point that he was talking about crack.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that's what
the-
got him. That's what got him to the
But
top.
like
Yeah.
the last couple albums he put up, it wasn't the basis of.
Yeah, but what
True.
he's saying is,
Yeah, I understand that there was a point where he was and
Alright,
what
okay.
made Jay, but I'm saying like recently when Jay put out new music, it wasn't that kind of music, and he still was that guy.
Yeah.
Even when he made that change, which just goes to show that if you're that guy, then you're that guy. And if you're not talented enough to make it, then you're just not talented enough to make it. And I honestly believe, even if these artists switched up, whatever they do, their talent level is going to be the same and it's going to be displayed the same. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to hurt. I don't think it will hurt any of them
I do.
to switch.
I mean,
I do.
It
Like-
won't hurt him. But the thing is, when you're an artist on the level as like a Young Thug, like he's an above average
Above average artist.
in regards to following and people involved. Like just for the sake that everybody's following this case as big as they are.
Yeah.
Like let's name another rapper.
Or you know what?
There's another random
would
rapper.
hurt
If something like that would happen to him, nobody's gonna really care too much. Like
Yeah. What I'm saying is, it's gonna hurt rappers like your standard drill rapper,
yeah.
who can't rap about nothing but drill music. Like they're not good. Somebody said they're not rappers; they're murderers who rap.
Yeah.
And that's what they are. And like if they're not talking about that, nobody's gonna listen.
Nobody-
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Low-hanging fruit. Other artists who are actually very talented, yeah, they can rap about anything. That's why
Can I
they're
make
talented.
a switch though? So the guy that D1 was talking to, he was saying that it's a lot harder to take the negative things in life and talk about them without glorifying them. He said he was actually saying it takes a different level of skill and talent. And just to switch it a little bit, to shine some light on a different group of folks, that's part of the reason why I personally think Christian rappers have been better rappers than non-Christian rappers for a long time. And I know people always say Christian rap wasn't always good.
The top Christian rappers.
Well, I can say this.
Yeah.
I can
There's
say, wait.
a whole slew.
Some of the
of
Christian
Pause.
rappers are-
Pause.
trash should not be in
Pause.
the
Pause.
industry.
I can say the same thing about mainstream rap.
Okay.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's no need of saying mainstream rappers aren't good. It was like, no, the ones that aren't good, but the good ones are good.
Yeah.
And the same goes for Christian rap.
What I think when it comes to Christian anything, musicians, artists, gospel singers, or whatever, I think I think they're just more talented. I mean, okay, I think the standard is just held higher
It is.
for Christian artists to be really good at what they do.
It is.
Like, we don't, like, if you sing at a convention or something, like, you better know how to sing.
You
Yes.
cannot be average.
Like, you can't be average.
that girl that messed up the national anthem. Someone
Yeah.
was like, they should have got a gospel singer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They could have went to a local black church
and
and found somebody who would have
Who's your praise and worship leader?
Yeah. Like, but that's the thing. And then it goes to show in the industry now, a lot of your, like, artists or singers, like, grew up in church, or that was their background.
I think it was Tank. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Tank was saying like the problem with R&B. It was like y'all not getting people from the church no more.
Exactly.
It wasn't Tank. It was it Jermaine Dupri?
Maybe
Might have
that's
been
what it
Jermaine
was.
Dupri.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah, I think that's what.
But
it
that's
was.
a great statement.
Yeah. So yeah, I just think I just wanted to shine a little bit of light on those who do Christian rap, because and I keep hearing people say Christian rap wasn't always good until like the last few years. And so today I posted a clip of T-Bone and Fighting Temptations, which came out in 2003. And
don't like
every
T-Bone.
So I'm just not a fan.
wait.
And like, I'm not saying that for the sake of, I think there's really super talented Christian rappers. I would argue I was more into Christian rap when I was younger than I am now. So I'm getting back into the motion of listening to more Christian rap. But then again, I don't listen to a ton of rap anyway.
But this is my purpose in saying that. Nobody sees that scene when T-Bone's rapping and be like, oh, he's just an average rapper. Everybody who saw that scene in the movie was like, oh, that dude was dope.
Better than Lil Xan, I'll tell you that much.
He's definitely better than Lil Xan. And he's been dope, and that was back in 2003. And he wasn't the only dope one then.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So that's just to say that Christian rap has been dope for a long time.
I think my thing in regards to, and that's just, we'll use an example of T-Bone. I believe in T-Bone's ability to rap. Like, when I hear him rap, I'm like, oh, he can rap. Like, if he were to freestyle, I'm like, oh, I know he's gonna like kill it. Like, he's a rapper. I recently saw a video. One of my favorite producers on YouTube, it's a white guy. He just moved out here to Dallas too. I can't remember, but he did a cipher and he like invited different rappers to come down. And he was gonna do his own cipher. And Adrian Butler, who we've seen a couple times out here, he was in the cipher and like. He killed. I feel like he killed everybody. It was two Christian rappers, him and a Hispanic young guy, maybe 17. Killed just about everybody on there. Like, they were the best rappers, probably outside of one guy, the guy who started. He was really good too, but killed everybody, right? So I think respect to skill. It's just the type of music that you make, or the raps that I've heard you rap over tracks are just not appealing.
So I think we're saying the same thing. There's a difference between being good at rapping and making a good song.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That is an area that a lot of people have struggled with, and I think that comes from not being with the right producers.
Yeah, prime example, like pretty much any battle rapper.
Exactly.
Like they have you heard battle rap songs?
Kill a bar, but you listen to the song, it's like
you hear a song, you're just like, dang, this is so bad.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
With the exception of a few, some of them can actually can just be an artist and not.
Which is why I appreciate a guy like KB.
Because KB makes great songs.
Yeah.
All his songs are anthems. He makes great songs.
I don't know how he does
But like when Bizzle first came out, I was like, wow, I like him better when he's battling. Because I didn't like his songs at first. I was like, he can rap. But he wasn't putting together songs. Because, it's more than just knowing how to rap.
Yeah, like I like Saga. Like Saga sings as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And like he's good on both ends to me. I think he's a great battle rapper. And then also... a great artist. Like
I didn't even spend as much time on music, but what happened to Christian Grey?
Christian Grey, I don't know what all happened to him. He's no longer with the labels that he was with. He was with Kurt Franklin's label. He got out of that deal.
Christian Grey was top.
Bro,
tier.
School of Roses came out as top 5 R&B albums.
Yes, it was so good.
It clearly Christian, but it came out as top 5 R&B. When it released, top 5 R&B. Period. That album was
somebody tag that man.
Phenomenal.
We gotta talk to him. I don't know where he at.
Album was phenomenal. Then his follow-up album was dope too, but I don't know what happened after that. I don't know.
Hey, I'm out the loop completely. So
recently, I'm gonna send you one of his songs, man.
Just listen to School of Roses. Just listen to the album.
School of Roses,
just press play and just listen to the entire thing.
Send you a whole
it's
song,
a new Christian Grey. Anyways, but recently he's been like re-releasing some of his songs from School of Roses. I don't know if he has something new coming out. He like re-released an album that was songs he already had. I don't know what he's doing, but I don't know. I feel like he should be way bigger than he is.
My favorite Christian Grey song is called "I Love You," and I'm sending it to you right now.
I Love You.
That man,
listen,
did his thing.
Christian Grey. I know that this song is years old, and you're probably sick of these requests, but you knew what you were doing when you made this song. Okay. When I get married, hopefully in the next year, I'm gonna need you to come and do "I Love You." To be honest with you,
no lie. I sent. I think I went on his Instagram and found his email. I sent him an email to ask him to come and sing at my wedding. They just never responded to it. Yeah, like, that's why I'm like, what happened to him?
This money,
I was trying.
Bro, that song is so fire.
Yeah, I would have loved that song at my wedding.
And it's such a, I don't know, that entire album. Well, no, not that album, not the "I Love You" album, but the School of Roses album. It's such a good R&B album.
Okay, that's it.
Just a fire R&B album. But that song right there, Goodness
Wow, we
gracious.
spent a lot of time on music.
Hey,
Yeah, I didn't even see that happening.
I didn't see it happen either.
I didn't see it happen at all. But you know, let's get back on track. Let's get back on track so we hit Young Thug.
No, it wasn't an issue. I wasn't saying it was an issue.
Let's
oh no, we're good.
hit the next rapper. Sexy Red. How
Is
y'all
she a
feel
rapper?
about? Oh,
That's the first question to ask.
Is Sexy Red a rapper?
shock jock.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. Let me say some really, really, really crazy stuff, and then that's gonna
You
sell.
remember Tom Green?
Yeah, I remember Tom Green.
She's like
She's
black.
a
She's like the
black
black ghetto
rapping
female Tom Green.
I don't remember Tom Green.
It's just it to me. It's just like it's like comedic.
Oh, okay.
Like it's
okay,
not
yeah,
even
yeah,
like.
yeah.
Now, I mean, obviously Tom Green was obviously comedic with this.
Well, he was. Yeah, that's exactly.
He was a
what doing.
comedian. But that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really feel authentically like I'm serious about making music. It's like she's serious because it's making her money.
And
like-
it's definitely making her money,
Oh yeah,
which shows the downfall of America.
yeah.
But
Oh my gosh.
yeah, so she made a post about who she voted for, and by the way, I respect everybody's right to vote. But then she was like,
Unless you vote for Sexy Red.
unless you vote for Sex Red. But then it's like what she said, like she just had to have vulgar stuff in the post,
Yeah.
and I'm like, how does that fit in with the
What you're talking about?
Talking about voting. And it's like, cause everything she do, it's got to be ghetto, it's got to be big, it's got to be loud, it's got to be ratchet.
And as much as I like disagree with her, just what she does for her fame and fortune, I can't lie and say like some of it be funny and I'll be entertained to a degree. I'll be like, man, this is hilarious. But that's almost the trap you fall into with that.
Yeah.
But it's like, it is funny. And I'm like, dang, like when I heard her on that one song that when she comes in, oh, baby, I'm in there dying. When I first heard it, I'm
Never
like,
heard
what
that.
in the
I'm glad I
world?
didn't.
Baby, I love you.
Listen,
You know,
I heard the color
hilarious.
of two of her body parts, and that was enough for me.
that was wild.
Yeah,
I was
dude.
like, well, this is not music.
It's obviously not.
It's
Though.
not music.
I don't take nothing
Now,
she does serious.
Do you believe that that's like planned by somebody bigger than her?
For sure.
It's gotta be.
There's no way.
Because who is listening? This is why I say it's gotta be. Who's listening to her music and saying, yo, she is.
But
the
though the
one.
crazy thing is, she's
Lyricist.
popping up everywhere. She was like on the Country Music Awards or something like that.
Exactly.
Or not Country Music Awards. She was on somebody's stage. It was a country artist, and she was twerking or whatever. And like, I mean, I'm like, what is she doing there?
Yeah.
Like how? Like,
Do you think she knows?
I don't think she cares.
Yeah, I don't think she cares.
No, that's not the question. Do you think she knows?
Oh, she's gotta know.
Yeah. Because she knows she's not a dope
Is that
artist.
by definition of sellout?
But this is the thing. Yeah, for sure. But this is the
There's
thing.
a lot of sellouts.
Oh, definitely. This is the thing though. She gonna cash in every opportunity
she
got.
making money.
Cause she making
Oh, man.
Clearly,
money.
she
So
making
you
money.
saw with WWE, just took a picture
Yeah.
of Triple H.
Oh yeah.
She's everywhere, bro. Like and I don't even be looking for Sexy Red on nothing.
Yeah.
She
Why
just
is
be
she on
popping up.
WWE? That's what I want to know. What does
Because
Sexy
she
Red
got
have to do
the
with WWE?
ski. Delete that. I feel bad.
See,
for
exactly.
No,
You know, yeah,
that's the
listen,
thing.
that's the
That's the
entertainment
thing.
part. It's literally comedic, catchy music
Yeah.
that's super ratchet and ridiculous. But like if people like saying people shouldn't take that music serious, people who are like Christians should not even really rock with that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't rock with any of it. I would just say, like I said, for what it is on a comedic level, it's funny to me. But I can never take her
that's the
serious.
trap
But you
of
just
Donald
said
Trump.
he just said something good though. He said same people shouldn't take it seriously. I feel like there's certain people that listen to it and they treat it like a Weird Al song. It's a parody of music.
Exactly.
But then there's other people who listen to it and they start imitating that
Yeah.
in their
And
daily
like,
life.
or people who aspire to be like her. Like
Yeah.
that's not somebody you aspire to be like.
Yeah.
But little kids are going to aspire to be like whatever you put in front of them.
True.
Oof.
And she's everywhere.
And there's a lot of people putting that in front of little
Yeah,
kids.
I'm not mad at her, but I definitely, let's get our tinfoil hats out. I think that she's sent out there to give black people a bad representation.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is. Like, we got to make sure we keep this black image going. Because I don't think that what she raps about on its own would reach those heights. And I definitely don't think Drake, for sure don't think Drake would have heard one of her songs was like, I got to collab with that.
No.
At
it's
all.
clout based.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what he does. Like, he made that one song with this chubby Hispanic dude. I can't remember his name. And signed him to OVO thing too. And like the song was terrible, but it was like the cadence of what she was rapping or singing or whatever. I can't remember. I will send it to y'all if I remember. But it was terrible, but it was catchy. And he did the song with him, and then it blew up or whatever. And then that was it. The guy doesn't make any for me.
Ain't heard from him since.
He don't make any good music, but like,
yeah,
that's what they go for. Like, whatever's popular. So they won't even agree with it.
But I think that's been the case for a long time. I think that's how gangster rap got as big as it did.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch Candace Owens, when she was talking about it, she was like, they found some actors and was like, go portray this image. And she said that about Tupac. And don't forget, Tupac was an actor. Mm-hmm. And he went to an art school.
I mean, that's true, but I don't think that's what Tupac. I mean, he
wasn't always rowdy.
Yeah, he definitely
Watch
was
his
an
career.
actor.
He turned up right at the end. He turned up, and they turned him off.
Goodness gracious. Golly.
Yeah, it's a lot to it, man. It's a lot to it. Like, I never rule that out when it comes to when it comes to Tupac and his backstory.
And when you hear people talk about
it's hard to fully. It's initially because of your relationship to his music and like what he represented for like the culture of hip hop and on the grander scale, not the generous stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, it all goes into one. But you're like, okay, I don't want to believe that. But at the same time, it still makes a ton of sense. Like
he went to school with Marlon Wayans.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
That is kind of weird.
You don't just go from that.
The tinfoil hat officially
your mom's a Panther, your auntie's a Panther. You don't go from that to thug life. Like, exactly. Panthers is about black excellence.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? And so, what pushed him over the edge, we'll never know. And I don't think even when he was doing Thug Life, it was all just rowdy gang. But there was definitely some elements of it that pushed.
It's enough in there. And so this is part of going back to D1. Shouts out to D1. Part of what he's talking about is it doesn't always take a lot of that poison. It's poison.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So a little of the poison destroys everything that he had going. Mm-hmm. So I think, yeah, that's crazy. I never thought of Tupac as an actor. I mean, not that I never thought of him like in movies, but his career.
Watch that interview of him when he's like 15, and he talks about quitting his job, and he's like, I quit my job because they wouldn't let me come here, and I said I quit, and I grabbed a cigarette, and I walked out. Like, that's how he talks in the interview, and I was like, that's Mr. Thug Life right there? I don't believe it. With the nose ring too?
Now, the nose ring has always been a little interesting to me, I'm not gonna lie. The nose. I mean, that's the least important to me. But I will say, like, that part is a bit odd. But like I said, people can get turned on to things, and then whatever that in which they portray, they get involved in and stuff like that. So I think there's a little bit of a mixture of both of that. But I do think it possibly could have been a targeted thing. But
and then like just to talk about what led to his demise. My wife told me stop saying the K word on here. So what led to his demise is because when they were in Vegas, he went and stomped out a real shooter. And that real shooter did what real shooters do. But if you knew gang culture in Los Angeles, you would know who you messing with, and you would know not to mess with
certain
that
people.
You just know that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm saying. Like, he went West Coast. He not even from the West Coast like that. You went West Coast, super West Coast gangster. And I'm like, something inspired you to make that switch. And it could have been when he got shot. I mean, that inspired all kind of stuff.
Yeah, that'll change everything.
But I don't think he was just always rowdy like that. And even if you listen to his music, it took a turn towards
I didn't listen to the Candace Owens thing. You're telling me that she believes that gangster rap blew up the way it did because they intentionally went to people and said, go portray.
And
this
there's been
image.
other artists who have said that, you know, who have said this is the image they wanted us to portray. This is what they wanted us to put out.
Is it Meek Mill? Who, remember when D1 called out 3 rappers? Was Meek Mill one of the rappers he called out?
I don't recall.
Anyways, one of the rappers that D1 originally called out said that, you know, they do make more money for talking about the ridiculousness. And so that's part of why they do it.
So, and that's the thing. That's how, what I was saying earlier, that it's what they put in front of us. It's what's popularized.
Yeah.
And like that's what's.
And basically, we're gonna tell you what to think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is bananas.
Well, we can ask our question now.
Okay. You want to ask a question?
Yeah.
All right, let's hop into it. So, this is a question that admittedly we saw somewhere else, but I think it is great to have this question asked here as well. I believe that Leonard wants some participation from the.
Yeah, I want some participation
from the ladies here. Okay. The question is this: would you rather spend 5 minutes in person? You can see his face, touch his hands, feel the hem of his garment, with Jesus of Nazareth, Yeshua himself, or receive $5 million cash, tax-free, right now? Which would you rather do?
Say what you said, Gina. The first time, what you said.
What about most people pick?
No, what was your answer?
5 minutes with Jesus.
5 minutes with Jesus. Okay. What about you? What would be your answer? 5 mil or 5 minutes with Jesus?
I think if you're gonna see Jesus anyway, like you're going to heaven, then I will take the 5 minutes.
Come on, man. Hey, you got a good one, boy.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
No, I'm rocking with
terrible.
that.
What
I'm rocking
about
with that.
you, Julie?
Going to heaven.
I think I'm going 5 minutes with Jesus, and this is the reason why. Well, do we get into reasons, or we just?
We're gonna get a reason. Let's just get everybody's talent.
Okay. What's your answer?
Right now, honestly, I'm battling, but I kind of want to lean. Just give me the money.
You're terrible. You're a terrible
I kind of want to
person.
lean. Give me the money. Go ahead.
So 5 minutes with Jesus, money hungry. 5 minutes with Jesus, money hungry.
Dang.
And then I'm taking the money, but not out of money hungry. So now I gotta hear. I need to hear your reason why, and then I'm gonna give my reason.
Mine. So my thing is 5. Okay, first of all, everybody, we're striving to make it to heaven.
We are.
Nobody is perfect.
Nobody.
Right? I think meeting Jesus face to face. I'm not gonna say it guarantees you a ticket into heaven, but I'm gonna say it's going to propel you, and like nobody can say different, right? It's gonna increase your faith to a degree that you don't even. You'll
be like the apostles.
Okay, you going a different route.
Wait.
I heard nobody go that route with it.
Yeah, you'll be like the apostles though, who are willing to give anything. It didn't matter what anybody said.
I think, and then you got to think about the glory, everything. I think if you experience that at its true essence, like seeing him, then it's like when I'm on Earth, I'm 5 million.
You know
what's
what?
that? I'm getting to the bag.
I got to give you your problem.
Now, of course, that's what we strive to do here without being able to see him like face to face. But like, it makes it more reachable. I don't know. It makes it more reachable when you can reach out and touch him, or you've had that experience.
Okay.
So I'm thinking like, I'll pass on the 5 million. Give me that and boost my face to a level that's never been boosted before, and then boom.
So you're doing it to get to heaven.
Yes.
That's, you know what? I can't even
that.
be mad at. I can't be mad at you because that's not how like everybody else that was taking it. Everybody was like, it's God. Like it's 5 minutes with God.
Yeah, and now mind you, I don't think if you take the 5 million that you can't make it into heaven still. Like I don't think that's a caveat in this question.
Yeah.
Like if God says like, well,
yeah, it's not either or.
You didn't take 5 minutes with me, but it's just like, well, God, I've been spending my whole took 15 years since I've been saved with you.
I was with God
and God wouldn't have had to answer that. Like he'd be like, oh yeah, I get that.
Well,
I see, I know you.
Here's why.
So I don't think that's any bad answer.
That's not a bad answer. No, there are bad answers, but you had a legitimate reason.
There are
why.
bad answers.
I heard someone say
there's bad answers.
Absolutely.
As to why they spend time with God.
Yeah, I heard someone say, "I'll take the 5 minutes with God because then I can ask him for the 5 minutes." I'm like, you can ask him right now.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait, that mean he gonna give it.
He's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore, which
Yep.
means I can ask him right now, or I can ask him while I'm looking at him. I'm gonna get the same answer. So that's why I said, let me take the money because I meet with God every day,
Exactly.
every single day. if like in my opinion, it's like if you believe the Bible tells you like that you can meet God right now. He gives us multiple verses. He says, like, you know, I will come and sit. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man open the door, I will come and sit with him and make my abode with him. So, in other words, like, Jesus is right here with me right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm spending time with him right now. Like, if you spend 5 minutes with Jesus face to face, I can spend 5 minutes with Jesus right now. He's going to be the same Jesus. We're not meeting two different people.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate what you said. I do, because that's a different perspective.
That's a different perspective.
But this is what I think most people would do if they has 5 minutes with Jesus. For 5 minutes. And then there's your time. And
there's your time.
Hey, but guess what? What that can do for somebody is... That's what I'm saying.
Why I'm rocking with what you said.
Because I do think there is levels to... I mean, we talk about this.
You got a good answer.
There's levels to experiencing the glory. Like, you've been into... where God is really in a room in a church. Like, people gotta go to church, okay?
Yeah, gotta go to church.
But like, where the spirit is high and like, there's no better feeling. You're like, dang, like in the moment, you're like, I can live in this. Like, you don't think, you know, especially us as younger children and everything, growing up in the church, you're like, okay, I'm tired of these folks crying and running around the church for another 2 hours. I'm ready to go home. But whenever you understand it and you're in it, it's no other feeling in the world. Like being around his love, feeling his love. Like, it don't seem like time. You don't think about time, right? If I'm able to experience that glory at probably the highest peak that I would ever get to experience it at, like, that's a feeling worth chasing the more. Like, I can live in that forever.
I just thought about
and it just adds more zeal.
But then
I'm not saying it takes away.
It's gone.
Yeah,
you only
I know.
got it for 5 minutes.
You only get it for 5 minutes. It is gone.
It is gone.
But I don't know.
I just think that'll be enough to carry you.
Let me tell y'all something.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen,
I think so. But you guys bring up a great point, which I understand that completely, because like that's things that we can strive to do and access now. Like, we can get, like, if we seek them, we can get.
That's what I'm saying.
We can get in his face and we can experience that.
It's actually, because if I go into a room, close the door, put on the katinas, don't you ever leave, man. I'm singing Jesus for 5 minutes.
And then two, I'm only thinking about Jesus in the aspect of his glory now. Like if I was born back in the days where he was
exactly
it would be different.
Because that's what I was thinking.
Because then I'm like, wait a minute,
like you in the room with him, and
so this is what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Just now, I was like, so when Jesus came, Scripture is very clear. He removed his glory to come in the form of a man.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's
if you see
that
man
made
Jesus
that you
exactly. If it's man Jesus, I'm taking the If I remove glory, like, of course, and in the context of that time, right? So yeah, because that's tough though. But I'm thinking about like Jesus in his form now. Like, yeah, I'm taking that.
But I want to commend you because you had a reason, which I'm going to pivot into. Because I was hearing people saying like, well, it's God. Like, why would you not spend 5 minutes with God? And I'm like, you can spend 5 minutes with God right now. But you had to, like, you thought it through. You like, shoot, if I have that level of experience with God, and clearly they weren't thinking that. I have that level of experience with God, it's going to carry me through. It's going to propel me. I like that. And that just goes to what I'm saying, like, have a reason for why you believe what you believe. Exactly. I think we were talking earlier about people just believing stuff that's just not true.
Yeah. What we were saying is, actually we're talking about politics and how there's so many lies that people run with, and you said it's not always that it's people are intentionally lying. Sometimes they just heard something that's not true and they just believe it because it was said, and they didn't think it through or study it or anything like that.
So, like, this is something that happened to me. I had a friend who told me that someone told her that a pastor was demonic. And it's a pastor she listens to. And I was like, well, ask them, why is he demonic? And that person said, well, like, there's videos of him preaching and his eyes turn black. And I was like, wait, this person believed it. I said, ask them for a link. Whole day went by. Couldn't find any links. You know why you couldn't find no links? Because there are none. But this person wholeheartedly believes it. And that's kind of stuff. People will hear something. It could be the most outlandish, most ridiculous thing.
And they will
but because they heard it, they're going to believe it and never fact check.
But this is the thing. is if what he's presenting lines up with the word and he's leading people to Christ. First and
You don't
foremost,
gotta worry about that.
it don't even matter if he got 10 demons in it.
No, you're right.
It doesn't.
You're telling the truth.
Because the word,
It's
God
the
can
word.
use whoever he wants to use.
Come on,
The
now.
word is the word.
The word is the word.
Because what did I think it was Paul said, what does it mean if I gain the world and be a castaway myself? Or I don't know. There's that. Y'all know the Bible better than me. But the point is, like, I can do great things and still not make it myself. Same thing here. You can lead the world to Christ and not make it yourself. So even if there was a video with him with his black eyes, which why would you think that's real for starters without seeing it? You know what I'm saying? Even if there was a video like that, that don't mean what he's preaching
Yeah.
is demonic.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
plus, the Bible makes it very clear. Ain't no demons about to tell people to turn to Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
That's not.
Yeah, I was
not
going to
happening.
preface that. Like, of course, the 10 demons was an exaggeration because I don't think anybody with 10 demons in them is really going to be leading you to Christ in any fashion.
And
But yeah,
And that's a divide that we have in Christianity right now. I see all the time. Like, my wife was telling me about somebody that she knows, and they were saying like, "Oh, pre-trib is heresy," and I was like, "It's not heresy. You can believe it's not true,
Yeah, that don't make it heresy.
but it don't make it heresy." And we do that with pastors and ministers all the
It's another-
time now.
You can have bad theology. That does not make you a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Thank
Exactly.
you. It
Because
just means you need to
theology is
study
off.
some more.
And that's what happens with a lot of folks. A lot of times you see folks online saying this person is a wolf in sheep clothing. That's a
Wait.
false prophet. That's not what it is.
Did not Paul have to correct Peter?
Fact.
If Paul had to correct Peter, and
And Peter walked with Jesus.
Peter walked with Jesus, then how much more can we, during our faith journey, have moments where I need to be enlightened, or I need to learn more, and I need to be corrected? That don't mean I'm a false prophet.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like we're so quick to condemn people and everything they
It's
believe.
even worse nowadays. It's so bad now that it's just crazy.
Divisiveness.
It's like because everything that a person says can be recorded in real time. Everything can be harped on. Everything can be taken out of context so easily now because
Yeah.
you can take a clip or soundbite of somebody and literally post it to the world and say this is what they're saying. And put their own narrative and spin on it. It doesn't require you to listen to full things or what have you, right? So there's so much of that going on, and there's not enough of people like understanding that, okay, the Bible talks about mentorship. The Bible talks about not forsaking the assembly, like being around. Why does it talk about this? Because it understands that iron is going to need to sharpen iron. Meaning
Yes.
that it doesn't mean that you're not iron anymore. It just means that
Uh-oh.
you need to be
That's a good
sharpened
word.
by someone else.
That's a good
Oh,
one.
You need,
Pastor
you need
Rodney.
help. So this is the thing. I don't get why people are so easily like, oh, he's just a hellion, like he ain't said nothing good anymore. Like
It's
like,
like,
there's nothing I can take in
we
context.
have a
That was a
divide.
great word that you said that you told me. How did you get that? Yeah, I got that from Pastor Ken. Oh, I don't rock with Pastor
Oh,
Ken.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just like, wait a minute, hold on. Was the word not true?
Was the word not true? Well, we gotta ask people before you call somebody heresy. Did they say that Jesus Christ is the only way to God for the forgiveness of your sin, and to repent, turn away from your sin, and turn to
run to
Christ?
Je-
If they say that, we gonna work on some other stuff.
Everything else could be just not being smart. They could just be in their pride. They could. It could be a whole lot of
It
other
could be a
things.
whole lot of things.
But it's not intentionally doing things to turn people away from Christ.
Let
That's
me
not what
ask
it
you:
is.
do you feel like there is a popular person out there that you can like say like, oh no, this is just heresy?
Heresy.
Heresy. I feel like there was, but he died.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'll say it. Carlton Pearson.
Yeah.
I'll say it. Yeah, I ain't scared.
If you're teaching that, then yes. I don't know of any.
But I
people-
mean, how many? Well, let's think about this though. Like, I mean, maybe in his later years you can say that.
Oh, it is his later.
It's
It's not
definitely
his early.
Okay,
years.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's
when
the
he
universalism.
started-
When he switched to everyone is saved no matter what you do, and I said that's not scripture.
That's not what. Yeah. It's not
It's not scripture. Yeah, that's
So I would say anybody who is really a progressive Christian Progressive Christianity is not Christianity.
Oh, you know what? You're right. So, case in point, like, I posted a video about a woman asked what happens to a baby when they're aborted, right? And it just described like the vacuum pulling out the bits and pieces and then them putting it into the
Just got
thing.
graphic quick.
I got a lot of messages about how hateful I was for posting that, basically. And I'm like, I'm just posting what this person. The person asked a question. Like, maybe you want to know. It was heartbreaking to me. Like, I wasn't doing no pro-choice banter or anything on that, right? But one person was like, "We've all sinned," and it was like no sin is greater than the other. That's not true. I didn't go into this with this person, but that's not true, guys. Like, read your Bible.
Yeah, the Bible
there
is
are
not
different
sin.
levels of sin. The Bible makes that very clear.
Very
So she was
clear.
like, no sin is greater than the other. And I'm like, what? Lying and unaliving an unborn baby.
There is
That's
sin
pretty
that
bad.
leads to death.
And then the message said, he's going to forgive everybody. No, he's not. No, he's not. And that's what I was talking about earlier. We think who God is in our minds, and then we follow that instead of learning who God said He is
And
follow
following
that.
Because he's willing to forgive everybody.
Willing to
Exactly.
forgive everybody.
But on his time, this is the thing we got to realize. If there is a God, whatever you think that God is, you are so far beneath it, your desires don't matter. Unless, this is the only way your desires matter at all. That God desires such a relationship with you that now he is choosing to really commune with you, and then he considers your desires. Even then, he just chooses to consider your desires. It's still ultimately up to him. We're talking about whatever the force is that was able to create time.
Yeah.
Whatever that force is, you are not important enough.
I don't think people know how big God is. Like, God could have made us all just to torment us and still been God.
Yeah, he's still sovereign. That's
It's a crazy
that's
thing.
the
It gets and still be good.
Exactly, and this is the thing, and that's what people say, like, "Oh, you guys are crazy," but it's just like, this is literally it. And this is how you know how good God actually is.
Yeah,
Come
It's
on,
because he has no one to answer to.
No one. That's what I'm saying.
Like,
So that's what he wanted to
he
do.
he could do whatever he wants
to do.
And
But
it's the
yet,
right
and
thing to do.
still, he still promises, and he put forth order, which is a thing he made for the sake of us, because order is a timely thing. We won't have to get into all that.
Yeah.
But literally, he set all that place for us because he loves us, and he gives us the opportunity to choose. When he can just choose for us, but he gives us the opportunity. So the fact that you can have opposing views, it's like God is good.
God
Yeah.
is good. Yeah.
The fact
That's
that you
literally
could create your lips to say something like he's vindictive and what's the word?
Because if I was God,
No, somebody was talking about how God is what's the word? Jealous. He's like, how do you have a jealous God? What's that about? So do you realize we're talking about the creator of heaven and earth, the creator of time and matter, the one who literally knit together mankind like out of you're a toy to him.
toy.
He breathed life into you, and you have the nerve to say that someone else is, or that there is no God. Yes, he's jealous.
And
I am your everything, and you deny me.
Wait, you know what's crazy? Is somebody's going to hear this and be like, well, I wouldn't want to worship somebody like that. You arrogant. How arrogant is it of you to decide who's worthy of worship?
and decide
Put
that
it like
something
that.
other than your creator is worthy of it.
That's just wild. Like,
It's
If
bananas.
anything is worthy of worship.
It's got to be whoever created. I'm not even going to say who it is. Whatever it is that created, all that we see and experience is definitively the one thing above and beyond everything that we should give our worship to.
I think living in the West, because we have a president and we can elect in and out, we don't really have that big of a reverence for authority.
Yeah, crazy enough, I was watching it. I like watching little vlogs about people who are traveling like across different countries and stuff like that. And I believe, I don't know if it was Malaysia, somewhere, but like, or no, it was one of the foreign countries. I know one thing I was looking about New Zealand. There was like a new queen that was installed, and she's like a young lady. She's like 27 or something like that. but the way they come out for her, and it's just like a family, family lineage thing, and how they support her, and like people during the ceremony are crying tears, and this is not somebody who was necessarily voted in.
Yeah,
this was just the family, and they reverence and honor that lineage.
Yeah,
and because America is such a mosh pit of just everything, there's no reverence for nothing. And we just elected who we like and, who we don't like. And we fight even the people that we get elected in. We don't like them. Everybody's just up to... And, we don't have that esteem, like you said. There's no...
Yeah.
We don't have things that are... People that are just reverenced and just adored and loved in a sense to... I don't know, just to get us to understand, a monotheist way of thinking.
But I'm going to say something off the wall here.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
If we lived under a dictator, because everybody's saying we're about to live under a dictator, but anyways, if we lived under a dictator, we'd understand God more. I know that's off the wall, but you'd understand what it means to have all power. See, we have presidents. Mm-hmm. Your president cannot walk into your house and kick you out. Mm-hmm. There's rules in place to protect you. What a dictator can do whatever they want. And when you understand that there's a power out there that can do whatever it wants, and then you realize God has that same power, but then chooses
to not.
Mm-hmm. Just imagine, bro. Just imagine. Imagine you had all power, and imagine how corrupt.
All right, listen, I ain't gonna lie. I can't have all power. That's bad.
All power. I'm talking about answering
to nothing.
See, I'm talking about all power.
Yeah, you can
do whatever you want.
Listen. This because people don't understand. A dictator could take over his country, but then if he try to do something in another country, there's a fight.
He got to answer to that.
God don't have that.
Don't got to answer to nobody.
Good is. This is what people don't understand. Good is defined by what God wants.
Literally.
That's it.
I like that.
What he wants is good. And as soon as he doesn't want it, it's not good anymore.
What?
Why? Because there's nothing to dictate to say, no, these are the parameters. The parameters are his desires.
That's him.
Now let's talk about Jesus for a second.
That is good preaching right there.
Let's talk about Jesus for a second. All power, all authority, no one to answer to, and then you go suffer for them? Mm-hmm. Absolutely not. Because they made mistakes?
Because
they messing up?
Get this. You decided to put rules in place, and you decide, I'm not going to break my rules. I'm just going to abide by them. So I have to come through and do things the way I said so.
Yeah. He wouldn't even give himself, the way he even gave himself access to reach us here and take off
the glory.
He did that because he doesn't violate his word.
Hey, you ever been to...
That's crazy.
You ever been to a...
That's bananas,
bro. When he says something...
He means it!
You can count on it to happen.
He means it!
Wait, have y'all ever been to a dusty city, just ghetto?
Uh-huh.
And you just be looking around had to been God on earth. Had to been. Came to earth and was just this is nasty.
Walking through the streets of New York City?
Yes, he was. You know it. He was just this ain't it,
bruh.
I'm doing this for y'all.
Mm-hmm. But you want to know what's crazy? This is what people don't understand. God he has in the past done it, and he has chosen not to do it yet. He can't just say reset.
Thank you. He can. Anybody play video games?
Oh, I hate to reset. I restart everything.
You ever restart something? Nah, this ain't it.
Yeah,
this ain't it.
I didn't do this level right. Let me just turn the game off
checkpoint,
and restart.
He could do that, man.
He can do that anytime.
But here's the crazy thing, though. He already let us know that he will do it again. He said that he would do it one way. He did it, proving that he can. Mm-hmm. Then he says, I ain't going to do it that way ever again. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give y'all a ridiculous amount of grace. I'm going to sacrifice myself for you, but I am going to do it again in a different way. Mm-hmm. And he allows us to decide, are we going to have to face the wrath of that or not? When he could just say, oh, now's the time for you to.
Y'all know my new favorite verse, and I had to look it up because it is recently my new favorite verse. It's Hebrews 10 and 14. It says, by one sacrifice, Jesus, he has made perfect forever those who are being made holy.
Sheesh.
Which means you're made perfect right now while you're being made holy. Boy, that's my new favorite scripture. I gotta go through it a couple times.
And that's when you
crazy.
hear people that say, like, the basis of our whole faith is literally upon the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Because,
Everything.
like, it just sounds so rehearsed and used, but, like, listen to what, like, pay attention to what actually
folks don't
happened.
understand, man.
This is a limitless God. Limitless. There is nothing, there's no such thing as limit. He created limits for us. It ain't got nothing to do with him. Okay?
You know how to say the sky's the limit?
Yeah.
The sky is literally what he stands on.
Yeah, the sky's the basement.
Like
The sky is nothing. It's literally nothing. Like, I think about it in this way. Now, of course, this could be. I like to think about it in this way because it puts in perspective how big God is. God creating us here on Earth. Who's to say there's not another galaxy somewhere else that He's like, I'm doing this over here?
Bro, do you know how many different galaxies there are?
Listen. This is pertaining to Earth and us. We don't even, because the massness of God is to say that we're the only thing and this is it.
Bro, I don't think
People don't understand. Like they think it sounds crazy, but it's not crazy at all because God is
so big.
He's so big.
I follow these two channels on YouTube, and that's what they talk about, like space and all that stuff. There's 2 trillion galaxies
that we know.
that we know of. 2 trillion, not planets,
galaxies.
galaxies that we know of. Who knows what those guys out there doing?
There's no telling.
And guess what? We probably the worst planet.
Like, outside of it.
That's the bad planet.
Yo,
2
there's
trillion galaxies.
man, I don't think it's. And the more you start to understand, the more you realize you can't really grasp
No,
the
you
fullness
can't.
of it.
I'm gonna send y'all
Like,
some
I
YouTube
literally
videos.
racked my brain, like, thinking about stuff like that. Like, I mean, in the room for hours. Just like, dang. Like,
You will mess yourself up.
yeah, you really mess yourself up because you can't.
Man, he's
I'm
so
gonna
big.
send y'all some YouTube videos. Like, there was one video that explained how we know that the universe had a starting point. It's because of, like, light takes so much time to travel. So if it was infinite, the sky would always be lit. But there's light that hasn't reached us yet.
Yeah.
So we know that there was a starting point. So if
Which-
if we know for
wait.
sure our galaxy has a starting point, what started it
This is the crazy thing. Whatever started the galaxy
is God.
well, not only that, but it literally, and this is what I mean by, like, when you attempt to wrap your head around it, our brains aren't big enough to do it. It stands outside of time.
Exactly.
It's looking.
We can't comprehend.
This is time, and it's looking at it,
It's looking at time.
and it's like, huh.
It's looking at
I
time.
want it. So I watched a video that said why Jesus come and when Jesus came was the best thing. Imagine this. Imagine God's up there and He's like, "Dang, they're so dumb. I gotta go fix this."
He's definitely saying that.
20. 7. No. Right here. Yeah, that's the time. I'm gonna come right there. And He's watched it all play out already. Whatever happened.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing.
That's what it means by he knows the ending
Yeah.
from the beginning.
And he looked and said, "Where do I want to come in?" He's watching it all play out, the entire existence of the earth,
He's watching it, experiencing it all at once.
and
That's what I'm saying, and
manipulating
it.
God.
But listen,
That's the thing, and that's the reason why when people say, "Well, then how is there free will?" and I'm just like, you got to understand. You're talking about a God who's outside of time. So yes, we have free will because God just sees every.
he sees it all. That's it.
He sees
sees it all.
whether I use my left hand to explain this or my right hand. There's a whole timeline of me using my right hand. There's a timeline.
And everything has changed.
And everything has changed. And he's seen every single facet.
Oh,
It's wild, yo.
So he's too big.
it's too much.
I didn't know we was going down this
Yeah,
rabbit hole, but
me either.
I
I like it, though.
gotta do this one, y'all. This came across me this week. I was thinking it was a scripture where it says that in the new heaven, in the new earth, that a new Jerusalem. Sorry, that's what it is. That the light will not come from the sun or the moon. We won't need a light. Won't need a light source because Jesus will be the light.
Yeah.
Right. And I told you I've been studying moon, galaxies, and all that stuff. Like, there's some YouTube videos out there, super cool. But one thing it tells us is that stars die. If the new Earth was dependent on the sun for light, it couldn't be eternal. So he was telling us, I'm going to be your light source when this star dies. I'm going to be your light source thousands of years before we knew
that stars
died.
Is he good?
Is
God good?
Come on now.
Is God good?
And you want me to not believe in this?
Come on, man.
It's too good.
Is it? This is. Man. Stars literally die.
If he never said that he was going to be our light source, how's the Earth going to be eternal? It depends on the sun.
Exactly.
Even if you say, okay, well, you guys will live forever, nothing can kill you. Okay, what we going to see? We can't see
Can't see nothing.
without the sun.
And we got no. Oh, listen. I got so.
Oh,
I got so many.
he had an old
questions.
glory moment. You saw that? Oh, glory.
Because listen. He's gonna be the light. Light sends off heat. The sun, our light, is what warms the earth.
That's right.
So without the light, we all freeze to death.
He's
and
going to
die.
be the sustainer of life.
Which tells me, if you're wondering, is Jesus is God an actual physical being? The answer is yes. There is a physical presence to God. It's just not near us right now.
Mm-hmm.
So he literally exists somewhere.
Yeah.
Just somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's too much.
And that's like, we know hell says it's like flames or whatever, but it also talks about it being outer darkness. Why? Because that's not where he's going to be.
Exactly.
It exists outside. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I don't want to go all the way down that road, but
Oh man,
It's
so,
so
much more we
much.
can do.
when you study galaxies, bro, you realize how small how many trillion? Or was it 4 trillion or 2 trillion?
2 trillion?
2 trillion
Galaxies. Yeah, we're meaningless.
And the galaxies are moving fast, bro.
Super fast.
Flying through the galaxy right now.
No, we're flying right now on Earth. If God put the Earth on break
I saw that.
for 0.1 seconds,
You see Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about that? He was like, you would fly, bro. You would sure.
It's just like if you slam your car brakes on the freeway.
Yeah.
Like that's like man.
We are moving so. Yeah, it's just he's too.
Neil needs
he's
to know.
too big.
Neil needs to get to know.
Neil
the
needs to
Lord.
know the Lord. Exactly. He needs to know the
Too
Lord.
Big. And the more I attempt to think about like understanding him, the more I realize I can't. We're literally. This is another thing. We're so prideful because we think we're important. We mean nothing,
Bro, we're so small. We're so small. Our planet is
This is the
small.
thing. We mean nothing, but yet we mean everything.
Everything. And that's why
crazy.
the Bible says, what is man that you're mindful of?
Yeah. What is
You made him a
man?
little lower than yourself. The
Bro,
angels,
why'd you do that?
angels are confused. What was this?
The angels don't understand God loving us
I
the
don't
way
understand
they
why
do.
you love them. That don't make no sense.
They don't get it.
They're
the
just
angels
like,
are they're literally
so
asking.
insignificant to the grand scheme of everything.
Yeah,
The
that
angels
they
are
never
looking
capacity to
like,
know.
why don't you care about me like this? That's
Because-
what the angels are wondering.
Because the way that God is building stuff, like He made everything, we do believe, nothing was made without Him. Earth was a side mission. Why you spending all your time on the side mission? You got trillions of galaxies. Why you spending so much time on
And then,
this?
not only that, I mentioned this during Speak Up Church. Shameless plug. Speak Up Church. Google it. Anyways, the Bible talks about how God created everything. It says He created everything by speaking. And God said, and it was. And God said, and it was. And God said, and it was. What happened with man?
He formed us.
With His hands.
Took some time.
He really went with another. He
And
went
then-
another level with us.
And then he imparted
It's a
his
new
own spirit
level of
into us.
depth
Yeah.
into
He took
us.
time.
Because he just chose. I don't know the reason why, but he chose to. He did. And he went to another level to make us, to shape us, to breathe his life
Then he gave
into
us
us.
dominion.
Yes, he did. He said, "You go run it," because we were supposed to run this planet. Now we getting ran all over this planet. We were supposed to run this planet as his creatures. And
Oh my goodness!
When you
I'm
think
gonna
about-
stop right there because I almost just mentioned
when
some
I
wait a
other
minute,
stuff.
hold
saw
on.
Jesus, what it
But
done
wait a
for
minute,
me.
hold on.
Uh oh.
Then, if you put it in perspective, how insignificant is the devil?
Oh.
The scripture says it though. It says that y'all look it up, but it says that we'll look at him and say, "Is this the man that tempted the world?" Like that's what we'll say about the devil. Insignificant. At the end times, that's what we're gonna say about him. We're gonna be like, "You did this? You the one that? That's crazy."
Man,
Man, put your faith in Jesus
Man,
do it now.
Please.
and rest.
Yes.
Put your faith in Jesus and rest.
Rest in
Yeah.
that.
Can I testify, y'all?
Go
Testify.
ahead.
When I say God has been taking care of me, I have gotten random check after random check. We got okay, the first one's not too random. It was the escrow money, but
Hey, you wasn't expecting
I wasn't
this, so-
expecting it. And it was a lot too. It was the amount was random. Way more than we was expecting. I don't even remember all the random checks. I know we got a random check. They were like, "Oh, you overpaid for the delivery of your son." We had a court case, or we paid for a lawyer more than a year ago. Haven't heard from them in forever. They just called us and said, "I'm gonna go ahead and refund your retainer to you." Just random checks. Just here. I see you, son. Let me sustain you. I know you're working on some stuff.
Come on
Here.
now.
My God is good.
Come on now.
And that's why I don't understand people that like Courtney Pebbles. Be like, "Oh, I don't believe in God no more." What was your relationship like with him while you did believe in God? That's what I need to know.
And I think it's a lot to it, but I think whenever you're able to understand God still working, even in a situation that you wouldn't think is favorable, like when you're able to outside look and say God is still working, still has His hand. Like for instance, as far as me and my situation, as far as our household, God has sustained us regardless of whatever employment issues, whatever have been happening. Like not even worried about anything.
Yeah.
Solid. Everything is paid on time. Everything is good. But of course, somebody can easily be like, can take that same situation and flip it on its head and be like, "This is the worst time of my life," and things of that nature. But then the crazy thing about it is, and this is just an example of just in our lifetime in art. There's people who live in places right now, or who are experiencing things that it's like night and day to your situation.
But if you live in
But
America,
they-
you good.
Literally in America, but like there's
Everybody
there's
in America.
There's somebody in your city that is living through a situation right
Facts.
now that is something that's so far from your mind you don't even think about it, right? And there's people that are like that still have faith in God. And the crazy thing is, like, you don't have to get it past that. Like, if they can view it different, then it's something wrong with the lenses that are on your eyes.
Yeah. Because
That's
they are
the
saying
problem.
how good God is.
It's because sometimes as people we can think God owes us something.
Exactly.
And that's why we was all that stuff we was talking about. He's God. He don't owe you nothing. Your life can go bad every day from now until you die, and
Exactly.
He's still
Owes you
God.
But see,
Nothing.
that's
He
the
don't
thing.
owe you
that's
nothing.
that's the thing that you can say, like, God, if you don't bless me anymore. When you hear people say that, you've done enough. Like, I feel like right now in my life, God has done exponential. Of course, there's things I aspire to do, places I aspire to reach, things that I want to see. Those are all my desires, and I'm sure there's things God wants to see in me to fruition. But even now, I'm grateful that knowing that God has brought me here
Yeah.
at this point. And that's what people don't get. People are so fixated on destinations and where I gotta get to, which is good to look forward to something, right? But you still have to understand what's going on now and be grateful for what it is that you have now. Like, to a further degree, grateful to God what you have now. Because, yeah, I don't know. That's the whole problem with the human condition is just like wanting more, wanting to know the answers to everything. I'm okay. I'm never going to know all
There's
the
some
answers.
things you're never gonna know.
I'm never going to know. And, you know, there's some things I'd love to know. Trust me. I have the same desire to know it. But I have enough understanding of God to know that it's okay if I don't know it. And, like, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay to be ruled and not have to be outside because all knowing is him. I'm not trying to be him. I can't be him.
You don't want to. I don't even. We don't even want to actually know all the stuff we think we want to know.
You're right.
It's too much for your head.
But I want to say this too. God gives us purpose. If we indeed were just a random accident from dirt spinning and boom, now we're here, then you have no purpose. Whatever happens to you is just a result of chemical reactions. But when you believe that there are things predestined for you, plans set for you before you were here, now you have purpose. Because if I am just a result of a chemical reaction, then whatever I do don't matter. It don't matter.
It means nothing. And there is no good. In that case, good and evil does not exist.
It doesn't exist. Good and evil only exists in your mind. And whatever you deem good and evil,
That is what it is.
Yeah.
It's
funny. I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast, but I don't know if I told y'all afterwards. But there was a TikTok live that I was watching, and they're talking to atheists, and every time atheists would get on the live, they would just say like they would just question everything that they do. Like they would get on and say hello. They'd be like, "How do you know that's you actually saying hi right now?"
Yeah, it's not the Matrix.
Because the basis of their belief is that there's no God. And so for them to know, like, how do you know anything if the basis of knowing has to be God?
Yeah.
How do you know anything? So they're just trying to get them to say that they don't know.
Yeah.
The whole time. And of course, a lot of people are trying to argue other rationalities and stuff like that. I'm like, God literally is rationale. He literally is order. Like, order doesn't make sense. Things don't make sense.
Having order without having order, that is irrational.
It's exactly. So if your basis of living is saying that there's no God, there's no sentient thing that made you or something like that, or that put these things into place, then where's your basis for anything? And that's the thing. That's how as I was watching, I was laughing because I was like, okay, these people don't get the joke.
Yeah.
Because they think that the guys are just being super irrational with them, which from outside looking in, it just sounds like that, right? But the point, it almost was like, God, you're so awesome. Because the crazy thing is, there's people on this earth that believe that stuff, and God's like, you know, I still love them.
Still love them.
You know, like,
Still.
Like, you know, I'm gonna let them have a good life.
Still love them.
You know,
Yeah.
like that's just, I don't know. If I was God, I'd be like, man, what are y'all talking about?
Bro, if I was God,
Man, yeah.
like everybody think for 3 seconds how the world would be different. If I was,
It'd be so bad.
this world would be strict. Step out of line, a hand from heaven. Pow!
Straight to jail. Right to jail.
You know what I'm saying? But that makes me think of something though. God's list of do's and don'ts is not, because we talk about God setting limitations. It's not him setting limitations. He knows what's best for you.
Mm-hmm.
When God say don't have premarital sex, it's because he doesn't want you having to pay half your check to child support. Mm-hmm. Like he understands the ramifications of premarital sex.
Exactly. He doesn't, but then take it a step further. He doesn't want you to create a broken home because it was structured to
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
Then he's also thinking about the generations that are going to come from this brokenness that you're going to create.
Create brokenness.
It's like there's so much more to it.
There's so much more. He wants you to be able to be faithful to your wife when you get married, but it's hard to do that when you've created a practice of not being faithful.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody about that. They were talking about, like, you know, how do you be faithful? What if it's not good when you get married? I'm like, good compared to what? See, when you got this long list of women prior to being married, you're comparing it. That's why he said, don't have sex before you're married. So now, what you got to compare it to?
Exactly. That's why I'm a Karina sexual. I'm not even heterosexual, guys. I'm a Karina sexual. That means that anything on that facet of the earth that's happening for me has to do with that woman.
And
that's it.
God's
And I refuse to believe. I personally refuse to believe a man is having sex with a woman. This is the only woman he's been with, and he's like, nah, I ain't like it.
Yeah,
Man, for real.
yeah.
I refuse to believe it. You're not gonna tell me
Just
that
think
happened.
about the first time you touched a breast. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You know what I'm saying?
You
You're
know-
not like, nah, yeah.
You know what I'm
Nobody's
saying?
doing
Come
that,
on,
bro.
man.
Yeah, man.
Sheesh. God is good, ain't he?
Yeah, how we doing on time? I wanted to get into the.
Yeah, let's get into that real quick. And then
Go
we'll
ahead.
wrap up.
Wait, how you don't know which one I'm talking about?
We got time.
The
Go ahead.
Republican Democrat marriage.
I know
Yeah. Let's go.
I brought up the question.
Well, somebody bring it up then. I don't know.
Go ahead. It's-
I don't know what the prompt is.
Oh, let me read it real quick.
Yeah, I
Okay.
forgot what I said too. I'm gonna
It says, it's just the question. It's just asking about the relationships between folks of different political parties.
Ah, now I remember. Okay, yeah. So we was asking like, can you be a Democrat married to a Republican, right, or vice versa, or whatever? And I was thinking, a long time ago you could. Like, I remember watching a presidential debate where they said we both want the same thing for the country. We just have two different ways of getting there.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it used to be. Now
They want different things for the country.
you can't. It's like because they're so divided. Now I think that you should be able to, but just the way the culture is so divided. It's like you heard Biden. Trump supporters are garbage, right?
Yeah.
I'm joking. I'm quoting the president. Okay, before y'all get mad at me and they gonna clip it fake news. But anyways, like that is the mentality now. It's like, oh, you vote for them, then you're this.
Yeah, people are
Yeah.
losing friendships over that now. Which before, I mean, I didn't really hear that a lot before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, once I started, voting this way, like, I just can't be friends with these people anymore.
Which is correct. You know how stupid it is to say someone is a different political party? We can't have any affiliation now.
That makes no sense.
What?
And like I said earlier, people are married right now. One's Christian, one's Muslim, and they are in a happy marriage. But they can't be Democrat and Republican. You can disagree on who God really is, but
You can't say babies deserve to live.
but you can have different political views.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. And that's what I was trying to do this last week, and I saw you trying to do it. Just trying to tell people,
Yeah.
just love people regardless of who they vote for.
The
Love
parties
people
don't care about
Actually-
you no way.
Yeah, you're right.
Neither party cares about you.
They don't care
That's
about
what
you
you
at all.
gotta understand. It's just like, I think people put these people on such a pedestal and they revere them so much. And then two, I'll argue to this fact, and I think on both sides now more so than I thought before. So before, think about the Trump clan that come out. Of course, we're in Texas, so we got a lot of Trump supporters
Yeah.
around us and everything like that. Which I got no problem with them. They do their thing, but it almost seems like a specialized like gang family.
Yes.
like near where I live, there was a section of the freeway near that Texas Roadhouse over there.
Mhm.
And they would gather there like I think every Sunday for like a while before the last election, and there was just a ton of Trump supporters just all over the place. I'm like, man, they be out there going hard for this.
Faithful.
Yeah.
Like all in their gear, like geared
More
up to
faithful
the
than they are
max.
their
What's
wives.
up with
Barbecuing.
going to church?
Man, for real. And it's just like I ain't never really seen people do that in any other election
For a
before.
politician.
Yeah.
That don't care. Like, I don't think people realize the parties exist to get what they want out.
Oh.
They don't exist for you. They don't care about you. That's the first thing. Second thing, politicians are wild. Somebody was going through a list of different politicians and why they think that they're bad people. They included the great, and I did say great, Barack Obama, because that man was an amazing politician. I don't care what nobody say. He was like, Obama ran for office even though his wife told him not to, and then ran for president knowing that she dreaded the idea of it, all for his own personal gain, and said, forget what you want. And he said, what kind of person knows his wife is strongly against something and says, but this is for me. I'm going to do it anyways.
he did his thing.
Like, I mean, he did do his thing, though. Shout out to Obama. But, like, yeah, a man who would do that is not a man you want your daughter to marry. That's a fact. One more, and I'll be
Okay.
done. JBL. was a racist.
Is LBJ. Lyndon B. Johnson.
LBJ, my bad.
He was a clear racist.
Racist.
I was like, you talking about the speaker?
My bad.
Yeah.
LBJ.
This man was a clear racist.
A absolute racist, no
He
question
passed
about
the
it.
Civil Rights Act of 1965.
Passed the Civil Rights Act. And everybody's happy that he signed
As a
that
racist.
document, but nobody would have been happy with him. They wouldn't have put him in office, though he was willing to do the thing that we needed, even though he didn't like us.
Yeah.
I don't care who a politician is.
This is what I say. Like, I know it's election time, so don't think about election time. Just think about any normal year. How often on a Tuesday do you think about who the president is? Never.
Ever.
The president don't come into your mind that often. So I don't know why we act like, oh, I can't be friends with you anymore because you're okay with this president or that president.
Since Kamala since Biden said he's not running for president, nobody even cares that he's actually the man in charge
He's the
of the
president
country.
right now.
Yeah.
Biden currently is the most powerful
saying-
man on the planet.
Yeah, every question is like, well, Kamala, why aren't you doing it right now? I'm just like, wait a minute. There's a whole president.
There's a president out here.
There's a whole president.
And now they want to grill him for what he hasn't done. But 3 months ago when he was running for re-election, nobody had any problems with his economy. That's why I don't believe in none of this.
Yeah.
This is the crazy thing. If you're gonna start to blame the president
That's
for
how
everything,
Democrats right now,
right?
that's
And
what
this
y'all
is
know.
this is on both sides of the coin. If you're gonna blame the president for everything, you gotta remember, especially in this climate, Trump has already been president. So a lot of things that went into play on his watch too. But then a lot of things that happened during his previous presidency wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
It was somebody else's fault.
Presidents inherit problems.
They inherit issues and problems from each other all the time. But it's always really popular to say, well, it's happening right now. You're the president right now. So it's your fault. And I'm just like, no, it isn't.
Yeah, you know,
Like, literally COVID happened. Literally things that are grander. And if you look at
Bro.
the world economy.
I'm gonna say, because that ain't got nothing to do with no
Compared to-
president
I
made
know.
COVID happen.
Exactly. And you look at the world economy and it's similar, then of course it makes sense. But then obviously all blame gets pushed on this presidency or this vice president, who's even more has nothing to do
There's
with it.
never been a VP that got more
More heat.
heat for being VP. VP is the most useless political position. Like, because you know I'm a history buff. There's been multiple presidents who didn't even have a VP because it's really just that useless of a position. Hey, what does a VP do? Tiebreaker votes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Now, granted, in this situation, that's one of the things.
Now
that
she's
got
done
VP in trouble.
10% of all tiebreaker votes in all of history. There's only been like 300, and she's done 30 of them.
Yeah,
She's a very active VP.
That's part of what's getting hurt. But at the same time, that's why some people think that she's already the president, though.
Well, I don't think she. I don't. Okay.
I've heard people say that
That's conspiracy.
Obama, like Obama,
Yeah, I've heard that.
Obama's
But
still running
this
things.
is how I've heard that. But this is how I honestly feel. I feel America is a machine.
I do too.
Yeah.
So you could plug different people in, and there might be slight tweaks to the left or to the right. But at the end of the day, it's still a machine. You know what I mean? And that's why somebody like Biden could be president right now, even though we know he's clearly mentally not all the way there.
Yeah.
Not all the way there. But America keeps trucking along because America is a machine. America is bigger than its president.
But you know what I think we should do for president? Obama clearly don't care what Michelle wants. I'm playing. Y'all, strike that from the record. I got nothing against the Obama family and our former president. Actually, I want him to have 2 more years. A president can have 10 years total, right?
Yeah, I think you get a 10
Yeah,
years.
10 years total. I think we find a way to give Obama his last 2 years as president of these here United States of America.
I'm going to disagree with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with it.
I'm a rock with it, man, because Obama was just dope.
But my thing is, we got to find a way to love people. And if you are a Christian, like you claim you are, Christians are commanded to love their enemies.
Facts.
So even if you feel the person voting for the other side is an enemy, you're commanded to love your enemy.
This is what I like about us having a Bible. This is what I love about us having a Bible. When people say, well, Christians do X, Y, Z, does that line up with Scripture? Because as soon as you say somebody hates the other party, I can say right then and there, that's not a Christian.
Yeah.
That's not
That's not a
Christian
follower
life.
of Christ. That's somebody who's...
Or that may be a follower of Christ who's falling short right now.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Christians do that.
And
Yeah.
Christians do that because guess what?
But you can't put that on Christianity.
Exactly.
Because you can
Exactly.
see what we believe, and you like what we believe.
Mm-hmm.
And your problem right now is probably that you're not living up to what you said you believe. Not that what you believe is wrong.
That's the thing. You got to think about it like, and now it gets to this. Like, you know, you got LeBron James, greatest basketball specimen of all time. Keyword specimen. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad you said that.
Keyword specimen.
Move some furniture up in here.
LeBron James had a terrible game the other night. They lost to, I think the Cavs. Pretty
Yeah.
bad. And I think he had like 11 points. I don't know, something really bad. People will look at that game and be like, how is he the greatest player of all time? How do people even say it?
Oh my goodness.
They'll look at one game.
I know. One game at age 40.
Exactly.
I know.
at one
After
game at age
21
40
full seasons.
against the number one offense in the league right now is the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah.
And because they're the Cavaliers, they don't win anything. I'm like,
These
they're
are new
balling
Cavs.
out of control.
These are new
right now.
Cavs, yeah.
They haven't lost a game. There's only two undefeated teams in the league right now. It's them and the Thunder. That's it. So people will look at that sample size and say, well, he's not LeBron James. There's no way he's this great king person. And I'm just like, same thing how the world looks, or a lot of these worldly people look at Christians who do something that is un-Christian-like. So that was a un-LeBron-like game.
Yeah.
But
That
is
does
he-
not
but
define
that does not
LeBron.
define LeBron.
Yeah.
40,000 points.
Exactly.
That defines LeBron.
So if somebody's life doesn't define themselves as a Christian, then okay, you can say he ain't no Christian. But like, if I know this person's life, like, you know, I use my uncle as an example all the time. I've known my uncle my whole life. The same way he talks and talks to people in that pulpit, same way he talks in the car when it's just me and him, same way he talks when he goes
I
home.
literally just
talks
told
to
my
his
wife that about him. I was like,
Same
this man is
way.
the same
shout out to him.
wherever you at.
It don't matter where he go. He is Bishop Donald H. Butler, and he's the same.
Yeah.
So I can speak to the consistency of shit. Now, can I even say he may have a moment where maybe a frustration or something like that, and somebody may see him in a moment of frustration, and that's the only sample they get, and they can now write that man off and say, oh, he's no true servant of Christ. Heck no, they can't. They can't
on
say
now.
that because
Come on
we
now.
know the larger sample size. That's the problem. I
But
think
to
that's
be
the
a
problem.
follower of Christ does not mean perfection.
Exactly.
It means submission. It means, like, if I was perfect, I'd have nothing to submit.
Exactly.
I'm perfect. My imperfections is what needs to be submitted to Christ. So,
That's good.
yeah, I didn't know we was having church today.
Yeah, I didn't know.
It's
Church
hilarious
a lot.
because we started off talking about Young Thug.
I know.
But that's just to show we balanced.
Sexy Red.
That's right.
We're in the world, but not of the world.
Exactly.
And if
That's
you're in the
hilarious.
world, you got to know what's going on
Absolutely.
in the world.
That is funny. Oh,
I
man.
know.
Well, guys, this has been fun.
This has been
great,
There's a
man.
piece over there.
This is my
calling
therapy.
My name.
I really want to have a guest on again, so
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, we're trying to get some people
Yeah,
on
we're trying to
today.
get
It
some-
didn't work out, but
I'll get some folks.
we're gonna get some guests on. We got some people interested. We almost had a clutch like last second set of guests, and we've been some female guests.
Oh,
That
get
would've
that
been
too.
great.
Get a little different perspective.
But you know,
Mhm.
didn't work out. But guys, if you want to be a part of the show too, put in the comments, man.
And honestly, like the show.
Listen, unless we're not gonna
My
limit
bad.
it to like
That's on
if
me.
you're here, if you want to get on live with us or
Yeah.
whatever, like we'll figure it out. We'll figure out a
Yeah,
way.
let's do
If you
that.
feel like, hey, I really want to, get on the show, I want to talk with you guys. Like I want to open it up to everybody. So of course we're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If you want to reach out to us and everything, now I'm gonna be 100% real with you. Everybody can't just be on the show. Let's
Yeah,
just be
no,
real.
that's a fact.
Like, so if you send out the message and we like, yeah, we not go, don't take it personal. It's just,
you just weren't a fit for this program.
exactly. It just don't take
You're
it
better
personal.
fit for another program.
You know what's
Exactly.
funny is
But yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this show, this episode, man. Thank you for tuning in with us, locking in with us. Hope we can get to this 200 subscribers
Come on,
marker.
man.
And ultimately the 1,000 subscriber marker, we're gonna do something big there. Oh man, I really do feel like this thing is gonna grow and do
Yo,
its
you know what I
thing.
just
it's
thought
a
about?
bro.
Yeah.
What happens when we hit like 100,000 subscribers? Y'all know I like doing stuff. I'm gonna do something stupid.
Oh, yeah, it's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
do
crazy.
something crazy.
It's gonna be
100,000
crazy.
subscribers.
But yeah, hey, we're gonna do
I'm
our
gonna change
part.
somebody's
We're gonna try to
life.
stay consistent. We're gonna try to do even more upgrades to what it is that we're doing. But yeah, guys, engage with us. shoot us messages, DM us, whatever it may be. We want you to be a part of the show in whichever way that you can be. This has been Three Good Guys. Is there anything else you guys got?
Yeah, just a quick little story here. It's quick. It's quick.
All right, let's do it.
I was talking to somebody online, and they were like, "That should be our next podcast topic." And I said, "Oh, sure, you watch the podcast." They watch the podcast. It was cool to know somebody watched the podcast. So somebody enjoys it, and that's good to know.
Yeah,
That is good to know. That's
hey,
dope.
shout out to every 178,
74, I think.
74 subscribers we got. The 200 plus that we got on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok's doing good. We got to
you know,
get YouTube to catch up.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what we're
all the Instagram, however which way you find us, shout out to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, engage with us, man. We appreciate your watching us now. We just want to hear a little bit more from you.
For sure. With that being said, y'all,
This is not wine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, there are no alcoholic drinks on this show. Cause somebody asked me, I drink wine. No, I just be having a good time and drinking juice.
Exactly.
Hanging out with my boys. Just
Okay.
Unfermented.
unfermented. Very very unfermented. And I'm not being sarcastic. Okay.
Yo, this is Three Good Guys podcast. We love you. God loves you. We out of here.
Stop that before I get a copyright strike.
Yeah, I know for real.